This statement is also made on behalf of a coalition of Malaysian NGOs working on SOGI issues. We welcome all the recommendations made by various states to Malaysia, in particular to take legislative and practical steps to guarantee that LGBTI persons can enjoy all human rights without discrimination, to introduce legislation that will decriminalize sexual relations between consenting adults of the same sex, to respect the fundamental rights of LGBT persons, and to enact legislation prohibiting violence based on sexual orientation. We are deeply disappointed that Malaysia has rejected all of these recommendations. LGBTI persons face multiple forms of hostility, including state-sanctioned violence in Malaysia. On many occasions, political leaders have called for violence towards LGBTI persons, as well as those whose views are not aligned with the state's. In 2012, the Prime Minister of Malaysia, in a speech to a group of over 11,000 imams and mosque committee members from across the nation, branded the LGBT community along with liberalism and pluralism as enemies of Islam. In addition to direct laws that discriminate LGBTI persons, such as the sodomy law and cross-dressing laws under civil and Sharia laws, restriction of freedom of assembly, association, and expression equally affect LGBTI persons in Malaysia. In 2011, Sexuality Merdeka, a festival to promote the rights of LGBTI persons, was banned as it was deemed a threat to national security. Just last week, in March 2014, another private event, Pink Dot Penang, Penang is a northern state in Malaysia, was cancelled upon threats received from extremist groups in Malaysia. The media continues to perpetuate negative stereotypes and intolerance towards LGBTI persons too. The lack of these freedoms further hinder us from leading a meaningful and fulfilling life, as well as enjoy our fundamental human rights. Learning institutions are promoting intolerance and hate towards LGBTI persons. In 2011, 66 schoolboys were picked based on their non-conforming gender expression to attend a corrective boot camp organized by the Terengganu State Education Department. Programs of similar nature are also conducted in higher learning institutions. In April 2012, an anti-LGBT rally was held in a higher learning institution in Malaysia. Non-state actors, such as the Malay Network, have conducted anti-LGBT campaigns in secondary schools. Further, guidelines to identify gays and lesbians were released in 2012 by non-state actors with the purported support of the state. Issues pertaining to sexual orientation and gender identity continue to be politicized and used to create religious and racial divide in Malaysia. This can most clearly be seen in that the coalition of Malaysian NGOs in the UPR Komango was vehemently attacked by the extremist groups for supporting the rights of LGBTI persons and freedom of religion, particularly that of Shia community. The security of LGBTI allies are also threatened for supporting the human rights of LGBTI persons. We call on the Malaysian government to stop targeting people based on their gender expression or actual or perceived sexual orientation or gender identity, to stop politicizing the issues pertaining to SOGI, and to protect LGBTI persons from violence. We thank you.